there's an explicit goal for the kids to create a lamp that they can bring home. There's a solar panel, there's 30 lights hooked up to a string, there's long wood pieces and short wood pieces that connect into each other.
We actually showed the students a structure of a lamp and we had them recreate that same structure.
And they were able to see how to use these different lampshades that we had created off of Illustrator to kind of inspire them to use Illustrator themselves and doing different shapes and different sizes of shapes.
The first few weeks allowed them to see what they could do with the pieces. Once we moved away from that in later weeks and they were able to create their own structures, that they became more playful. They really expanded into new territory that we as mentors hadn't even gotten into.
So we're allowing them, with certain parameters, building the structure and then allowing them to go kind of crazy with building the shade. We've brought in some inspiration of teaching them about fashion and architecture.
Jenny did a history of fashion presentation which kind of inspired the students to develop their shades. Greg came in and he did a presentation on rapid visualization. He was just showing them how quickly you can do a rough sketch of your ideas.
There's been some robots, there's some that have taken like patterns from fashion. Some are really clean structures and we have some that are really out there.
There's one iteration and then we hit them with a critique and then they all have to talk, which is something they don't always like to do. After the critique, then they have a more solid understanding of what they want to do with their lamp design.
Cassandra's done a really great one where it's inspired by the Australia Opera House and just really pushing it further than what we would think. You know, she can easily just make it like exactly like the Opera House, but instead she's, you know, kind of using just the elements of the wavy structures.
I think they've realized the potential of a lot of the pieces more than even we have, and they've come up with designs that we didn't even think of.
These lamps is just a small example of if they put their mind to something, they can do it.
Maybe we won't tap every student, maybe we won't reach every student, but it's nice to know that sometimes there is somebody that you're going to touch, and maybe that one student will end up going to college and maybe they'll get into design, maybe they won't, but at least we were there and we made some kind of a difference.